Yesterday I was talking to a student from TUHH and he was telling me that he's having troubles in finding apartment, and he told me that it's not just for our batch, even the upcoming intake, it's way worse for them. But this is not something that is only happening in Hamburg. A lot of students said like they're also facing the same problems in their target cities, Munich, Frankfurt, Berlin. I think in general there are way more Indian students coming in this time than the last year. So just to tell you an example, at the time when I came, there were around like 60 students in TUHH in one like intake who came. The one that followed us was around 120, and now this is going to be the third intake, and I think like there's going to be definitely way more students there. So in general, like the number of students who are coming is increasing. The Studierendenwerk, it's not really having the capacity to accommodate all of them, so it is becoming a chaos. And this is the reason I put a post in our Facebook group and I asked them, you know, if all of you are having the same kind of problem, then it makes sense to like make a video about this and like address what you can do about this. Because the thing is like the Studierendenwerk is no longer the scenario right now. It's not the plan B that you can fall onto. You have to find apartments on your own. Otherwise, you know, if you have a flight ticket for 19 September or whatever and like you're coming to Germany and you don't have a place to stay, it is going to be difficult to register yourself in the city. Like only after registration then you can open an account and things like that. So in general, like this is something you should take care of. So let me tell you in detail what kind of apartments you can look for, where you can look for those apartments, what are the things that you should take care of before like, you know, just transferring the money online. Don't do it right away. Many a times it's just scams. Now a thing you might be doing wrong is writing messages in English. So try to translate the messages in German. Like if you know German, it's best. If you're living in a big city, like, or if you're planning to go to a big city like Berlin, Hamburg, Munich or Frankfurt, then it's fine. English messages can work. But for smaller cities, I would encourage you to like either take somebody's help and write an email in German, or maybe even I will put one in the description, so like you have an idea of how you can write the email and what kind of body it should have and stuff like that. Now again, you could be looking for 3 kind of apartments, or rather 4 type of apartments. If you have a relative here, then it's fine. Like, and if they're renting an apartment, so they are going to be the main tenant and you could be an Untermieter, so it could be like a secondary tenant, and it would work completely fine. The second is going to be Zwischenmiete. So for example, Alina and I decided to move to India. Hey, we miss the food and whatever, like anyways, we do miss the food, that's the truth. As the main tenants, according to our contract, we are allowed to have some kind of Untermieter or like secondary tenants to which we can rent the apartment if we are going away from some time. So this is going to be Zwischenmiete. Zwischen means in between and Miete means like just renting. Then there's going to be WG or a WOHNGEMEINSCHAFT, where like a lot of different students are living together. I'm really sweating right now. It's hot. Now the fourth opportunity you can look for is having an apartment on your own. That means like, you know, just 2 or 3 students coming together and you want to live in the same apartment as a WOHNGEMEINSCHAFT. If the person who put the offer on the website, he accepts it, fine. Otherwise, you know, generally I think like this is the most difficult case. I don't think many people allow it. Now let me tell you what kind of websites or places you can look for an apartment, and these are not just your generic websites that every website writes everywhere. I'm going to tell you some different ones and the things that people actually use these days so that you have a better time in like finding an apartment. The first website is eBay Kleinanzeigen. It's a local German website which people use to just sell almost everything or even rent apartments and things like that. So in that one, just go to the Immobilien section and go to Aufzeit and WG, and then you will find a lot of different offers which you can just look and see if you like it or not, and then you can just write to the people. So this is eBay Kleinanzeigen. Generally people use it a lot, so I think you have better chances of finding a WG or something like that. Second is going to be WG gesucht. It's also a general website where you just have a lot of offerings and then you can see the photographs, you can write to the people and stuff like that. The third is going to be Zwischenmiete. Now the website in itself, it looks really basic, but people still use it. So if people are using it, you still have the ability to like write to them, get offers from them, or like try to persuade them to like give you the apartment and things like that. Fourth one, and the most underrated one, is the Facebook groups. You have no idea how many people get apartments through Facebook groups. So for example, if somebody is coming to Hamburg, I would recommend you to join the Zwischenmiete and WG Hamburg something Facebook groups, or you can join the Indians in Hamburg or like new in Hamburg. There are a lot of different groups, and many groups which are completely focused towards only Zwischenmiete or like WG, things like that. then you will also find posts coming up like every few minutes, like 40 minutes, 1 hour, something like new thing is coming up or somebody is searching for an apartment, stuff like that. So be a part of those groups. This is for Hamburg. Now also if you're in Munich, try to find something like Zwischenmiete Munich or like Zwischenmiete München. Try to use the German keywords too, so that you can get better results on the Facebook group. Now, so like Facebook groups are really important. These Indians in Germany, Indians in Hamburg, Indians in Munich, Indians in Frankfurt, stuff like that. You can just join them too. In general, like you can find some really nice offers, because the thing is, as soon as this Facebook marketplace came, which wasn't really there till last year, it has become very easy for people to just sell their things. So like people just take photographs of their apartment and just put it on Facebook. And if somebody wants to apply and is interested in that, you know, the person who is offering the apartment, he can also look at your profile and things like that. So like he gets a better feeling about, you know. Also, please, like, take care of your profile pictures. No fake profile photographs, because I've seen like kids still having photographs of some kind of Batman or Joker or whatever. Just like drop it. This is like apartment searching. You have to be serious in there. People in Germany, like when they're going to look for new apartments, they will like dress up properly with like proper blazer or suit and like t-shirts, whatever. Well, t-shirts doesn't really fit in whatever I was saying, but again, you get an idea. The fifth one is going to be Studierendenwerk. So this was your general body, like the administrative body, which had to take care of all the hostel things. But because they aren't capable of it right now, so I wouldn't really bet anything there. Just like see if they still have some offers, try to write to them. If there was a private person who came to them and said like, hey, I have an apartment free, if there's a student coming, like I can accommodate him, then that's also a possibility. Now the sixth one is going to be like private student hostels. So there are a lot of different private student hostels which you can look for. They are like just 300 or 250 or something euros per month. And like I've also told you in the video, if you don't get the results from English keywords, try the German ones, because the kind of results that you get, like they will be completely different. And in German you might find way more results, like way more relevant results than you would find in English. The seventh one is going to be hiring an agent. So maybe you can have a Makler. It's like a broker, like a real estate agent or something. You can go to their websites. Again, like just write Hamburg Makler, Munich, Frankfurt. The same thing goes for every city. So just like try to find and try to write to them too that you're looking for an apartment. And here's the important thing. Now here's the important thing. Don't expect that you're going to pay 300 euros or just 250 euros and things like that for these private accommodations, because these are private. Now, so like people are looking for having some kind of profit. So if you are getting an apartment even for 400 euros, 450 euros, whatever, and you have no other option, I would highly suggest you to take it. Now in East Germany, the apartments are very cheap. The WG, the rent, everything is really cheap. So Akhil, like you guys know, he's living in an apartment which is like just costing 180 euros. I've seen people in Hamburg who are living in a WG which is costing them 500 euros. So like the difference is insane. If you are desperate, like if you don't have any other choice, so just go for whatever you find if you're at that stage. And once you're in Hamburg, it will be easy to find apartments again. There are like offers on the notice boards of the university. There are offers on some kind of street pole. There are offers like almost everywhere. You don't have to worry about finding an apartment when you're here. Then like it's still easier. At least you have a roof to sleep under. But if you're coming from India and you still couldn't find an apartment, it is a bit alarming. Just be careful, like do something about it. I'm here anyway, so if you need some kind of help and like there's a big issue, like of course I'm going to address it and I'm going to guide you through it. But still, like just be active, try to take control of these things. It's already a bit too late, but still if you approach people, you write to them, I think it is not going to be such a big problem. Now when you're finding apartments online, there's one thing you should be very careful about, and that is scamming. So many people, they say, hey, I have this in this apartment. They will just put some random photographs and say, you know, you have to give us this much 1,000 euros before we can give you the key or the contract or anything like that. If something sounds fishy, if the person is not addressing your question properly, then there are complete grounds to like just not trust him. Let me give you some security guidelines which you can follow. So let's do a role playing here. So for example, I'm the person who is offering something and you're the person who is just like trying to find an apartment. I will put up the offer on a website or maybe in a Facebook group, and then you come and then you write to me. I look at your profile, I see, all right, you know, this is the person who is nice. He could also be a friend, because this is the important thing. People who are putting their apartments online, they are not just looking for somebody to pay their rent. Like there are like hundreds of people who are like that, but they're also looking for somebody maybe who is like responsible, whom they can be friends with or something like that, you know, just to have a general nice feeling about it. So I'm going to just look at your profile and see what kind of things you did, what kind of person you are, what kind of hobbies you have and stuff like that. And then I will write, all right, you know, I'm going to let you have the apartment. So don't just transfer the money right away. First, you're going to ask for a Untermietvertrag. So there's going to be a contract which the Hauptvermieter or the person who is renting the main apartment will be signing with you, the Untermieter, the secondary tenant, so that, you know, everything is in detail. So like how much caution, there is 2 to 3 months of caution that you already have to deposit before you move into an apartment, and this caution you can get back when you move out of the apartment and if you didn't break anything and stuff like that. So generally it's like 1 to 2 months of caution. So if you're paying 500 euros per month, the caution is going to be 1000 euros. The contract will also state if you are allowed to have pets and other things like that, just general things. It's not some fancy rocket science, it's very easy. And if you find a person who is willing to give you the apartment, you can just send this kind of format or layout to that person and tell him to make a Untermietervertrag, which both of you can sign. And once both of you have signed it, and he has given you his ID and have had a Skype call, I think that is also very important. Just showing whatever things he posted on the internet and like the photographs of the apartment, so that you can see in real life that yes, that's true. And I think like this is the minimum thing that the offer or the person who is making the offer can do, and he will also be willing to do most of the times if they are genuine. Once the contract is signed on both of the ends, you can also do it like online with PDF, with online signatures and things like that. Then you can transfer the money, and then you can also tell him the necessary details about when you're coming, when you will get the key and things like that, so that both of you are on the same page. Now afterwards, once you come to Germany, you need a Wohngeberbestätigung. So it is going to be just another kind of letter. I'm also going to put the format again in the description so that you can just like take a look and you can ask your Hauptvermieter or like the person who is renting you the apartment to fill that out, so that you can use that letter and do the Anmeldung in the city hall or some kind of Meldebehörde or whatever. This document along with your passport and visa will let you have a city registration in any city, and this city registration has to be done within 2 weeks of you landing in the country or in that city. All right, like be careful about it, don't delay it. Just as soon as you land there, try to register yourself, don't delay it, because Germans are very, very particular about these things. So this is how in general the whole thing will work. You find a person who is interested to give you the apartment, you sign a contract with them, you transfer the money, then afterwards when you go to Germany, you have the Wohngeberbestätigung, and then you just have your city registration and you can do all the normal things. You can get a SIM card, you can open an account. Now last year, Indian Students Association did a very nice thing. They let the incoming students have some kind of temporary emergency apartments for just like 5 euros per night. Maybe the Indian Student Association of Hamburg, Munich, Frankfurt, whatever, like, you know, they can like just post this information or like, I don't know, just convey to the students. And if there's any students association for any kind of city, like, you know, if you need to spread some kind of information, you can also come to our Facebook group, you can write there, or like you can contact me, so that, you know, we can just make this whole process smoother for the incoming students. Because, you know, like the first few days they are pretty stressful in Germany, because there's just a lot of things going on, and if you have somebody who is helping you, who is guiding you through things, it just becomes very easier. So again, if any kind of student is looking for some help, just come in the Facebook group, you know, just connect with other people, see what they have to offer. Also join the other Facebook groups that I've suggested you, and if there's some Indian Students Association somewhere who want to spread information about something, you can also come to the Facebook group and you can tag me, like if there is something that needs my attention or something. something. Let's do it. Don't get disheartened by it. In general, the accommodation scenario in Germany is difficult even for Germans themselves, so don't worry. These are the things which you would just talk about later on, about the stresses that you had to face when you were moving to a different country. But for now, don't worry, I'm here. There are so many other people who are willing to help you, and we will try our best that this transition for you from India to Germany, or from whatever country you are, like even like people from Pakistan or Bangladesh, from wherever you are, we'll try our best that whatever the transition is, it's smooth for you. I hope to see you guys in Hamburg sometime. I think it would be cool that if we have a meetup, like once you guys are settled in here already, I don't know, in January or something. But again, like those are things for the later on. First, find an apartment, and if you found an apartment already, share your story, how you found the apartment or something like that in the Facebook group. This is going to be very beneficial. It is going to help everybody. Also, don't forget to share this video with other peer mates or whoever is coming to Germany again, so that you know everybody has some kind of idea what they can do about this situation, and that they are not the only ones who are going through this. So yep, I'm just going to take a shower because it's too freaking hot and ride my bike. And subscribe to the channel, of course. I've really sweated a lot because I had to close the windows to record this video, otherwise it's just too loud outside. So yeah, I hope it helps you. Share it with people, and I'll see you in the Facebook group and potentially in Germany. Bye guys.